Anyway, as I was just saying, before my other video got cut off, because apparently I don't have enough room in my camera, in my phone to do it, so now I have to go live. As I was saying, I just saw the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and don't worry, I'll upload the other part so you can see the whole epic. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, the meal ticket segment of the Ballad of Buster Scruggs was kind of sad. I think it just lets you know how brutal life could be out on the frontier. In case you're tuning in, I'm smoking Capstan out of respect for Professor J.R. Tolkien. It's a kind of a brash mixture, but I can smell it. I can imagine smelling it through the halls of academia where he taught. Mingled in with all the other various brands of pipe tobacco. That must have been smoked at the time. Um, anyways, I'm watching all the different stories of the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I'm thinking of the Old West, and I'm thinking, why does it have a hold on the American psyche? Why does it have such a grip? Not just the American psyche, but the world over. And thought about it, and even the Old West was being sold to people, even as the West was being expanded upon with the Wild West shows and everything like that. They were selling a lifestyle to the folks back east who were still stuck in society, boring stead society. Can't talk and smoke at the same time apparently. Walk or chew gum. The thing that I think, like I said, grabs the imagination so much is that it's a blank canvas, really. The West, all that land, all those mountains. You can pretty much write your own destiny. It's the same. It's the same coming to the New World mystique that brought people over here. That still continues to bring people over here in the first place. A chance to reinvent yourself, that kind of thing. So Western as a genre, it waxes, it wanes, and but it never really goes away. Why? Because it's about our hopes and dreams, like the best type of fiction and literature is. Speaking of which, I have to show you something. The other day, went to Newbury Comics and bought myself. It's a reprint of Guardians of the Galaxy. To me, the real Guardians of the Galaxy. Even kept the old ads. Anyway, I came across. Where is it? No, I'm not gonna find it. Why do people talk? I'm smoking a pipe. Right here. The Old West, Time Life, right there. And I didn't know what that was back when I was reading comics at this time period. I never picked up this particular comic at the time period because just it wasn't superhero enough for me. But after I got to learn about Guardians of the Galaxy, I kind of wish they made a movie about these guys instead of the ones we have. Not that there's anything wrong with the guys that we have, but I would have liked to have seen Charlie X and Martin X and Van Sastro, who eventually gets the Captain America shield later on. Um, and Yondu, which you do know from the movie, the guy who would whistle with the arrow, that kind of thing, control his arrow. But anyway, as I grew older, my dad actually got the books. And the gunfighters, and as you can see, supposedly real leather binding. I should do freehand more. But I realized my dad had it, and kind of always wanted my own set. And after he passed away, I got his set. But before I got his set, I had found a complete set at Lee's bookstore on Elm Street. Bought the whole thing for something like $100 with the index. I ran out, took some money out of the bank, got that, and now I've got two sets of them. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, in America we have very unique forms of literature. Um, the Western. It was considered lowbrow once upon a time. The purview of like disposable Republic serials that you'd see for the main feature. You know, they were like for the kids, disposable westerns. Who needed them? Pulp novels, penny novels. Even back in the West was considered lowbrow literature. But now, thanks to Hollywood and thanks to some really great authors out there, it's become an actual genre worthy of critical appraisal. And I'm talking about Larry McMurtry. I'm talking about Louis L'Amour. Not an expert by any means, but I'm just dropping names out there. And of course, then you had, at some point in the 50s to the 60s to the 70s, the Western went from, good guy, bad guy horse operas to basically a place to study the human soul. Much like all great literature does. Not that I'm ever going to be guilty of reading great literature. But the Western, thanks to many, many Westerns you've seen, the moral grays are being presented. Is it really right for us to kick the Indians off their land? Is everything that simple? Who's right, the cattle barons or the settlers? Isn't this land for everybody? That kind of thing. And so basically, America. What I'm saying is the Western, like the detective story, especially the American version, is something. If you're talented enough, you can use it to say whatever you want to, and you know, illuminate whatever facet of the human condition that you want to, using the Western as your canvas. Same with superheroes. Same with the detective novel, especially film noir. Film noir is perfect for showing the sucky, the sucky, immoral side of human behavior. I guess maybe that's what America does best. It takes all these lowbrow, inconsequential little diversions, like the detective story, the Western, the superhero comic book, and the genre grows up. Suddenly, all of a sudden, serious critics are appraising it, and I should take this seriously now because the work has been elevated. That kind of thing. I think I'm losing it here. No, I think that's one thing. That's the one thing I really do like about America. I mean, it tends to breathe life into something that you thought you knew. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say Americans invented the detective story, but we sure as hell invented the Western. Granted, there's different versions of the word, like the vaqueros down in Mexico. There's different versions of it. America really made it its own. Same with beat poetry. Jazz. Jazz is another thing. Jazz used to be race music. Jazz used to be, not respectable. It's in those yucky, those speakeasies where, respectable people don't dare to go. And now suddenly, jazz and the blues, all of that lowbrow music is now considered to be uniquely American and worthy of critical appraisal. So I don't know where I'm going with all this. I just basically wanted to say hello to all of you folks in the YTPC. A couple shout outs. I don't know if I have any left in here or not. I just want to keep these videos regular because obviously the more I do them, the better I get with pipe smoking. And the more I learn my strengths, the more I learn my weaknesses, the more I discover. I go on this journey of self discovery about what kind of a pipe smoker I'm supposed to be. Not supposed to be. Evolving into. Whatever. Terribly sorry, Gary. You're colonial. You talk too much. Indeed, I do. Some shout outs. Uncle Phil Seller. Always a decent chap. Beard, another decent chap. Also, also English in London. He sits with his beer and pontificates, plays great music. Truly a Renaissance man. Doesn't give himself enough credit at all. This would take some getting used to. Dale Piper. Another great chap. The thing I like about Dale Piper, you get to see him evolve in front of your eyes. He went from not being able to be on camera to actually smoking his pipe on camera. He's come a long way. Another thing I like about Dale Piper is that he's had a he's had a decent education, a public school education. He has it in his accent, but every now and again, his northern lilt will come back in. I like that. I'm a very big fan of regional dialects and whatnot. Don't smoke back in the pipe, Gary. For that matter, Red Alric. Love his regional accent as well. Um, Also, Onion. Thank you for the kind words. He says I'm improving with this. Hope so. I feel like I'm improving. If they're a pipe training class, I'm sure they probably have people teach people how to smoke freehand because you can't depend upon lifting the pipe out of your mouth, getting away. You can't do anything but smoke it to keep it lit. Hmm. Now I just have to learn how to talk while I'm smoking, like those folks in Quartermass that I'll be in. And Peter Cushing in the Sherlock Holmes movies, they'd all be like walking around smoking with the pipes hanging out of their mouth, speaking around plumes of smoke. It was what a gentleman of the empire did. It was expected of them. Um, Trying to think who else here. Who else? Kind of New gentleman subscribed to me. Can I remember his name now? Of course I can. But I would like him to. I'm going to catch up on your videos. You have three of them, so it looks like you're new to the YTPC as well. So I'll catch up to you. Oh, lordy. I'm up to 15 minutes already. If you add the other video on top of it, it's almost 20. So I'm going to call it a night. Just wanted to say hello to you folks. Take care of yourselves. Also, Northeastern Piper UK. Always a pleasure hanging out with you folks. You bring color and joy and substance to my life. All the best to you. Cheers.